How's everybody doing?
Good.
How's everybody doing?
Doing well, doing well.
Huge turnout for the staking
Great.
stuff.
Gigantic.
Well, welcome everybody. Title of this panel is Restaking, Innovation or Centralization. Just show of hands, everybody know what restaking is in this group? Excellent, excellent.
That's actually really impressive.
I think that's 100%.
Yeah,
actually.
it's 100%.
That's fantastic.
That's good.
My name is Dave Rodman. I am the managing partner at the Rodman Law Group. We are a Web3 focused law firm here in Denver, Colorado. Represent all sorts of cool projects in the space. We've got, I see at least one client in the audience, one client on the stage. So I'm excited to be here and moderate. I'll turn it over to you, Vanessa, to introduce yourself.
Thanks. Hi, I'm Vanessa Pistrito, founder of Electric Gems. I have experience as a venture capitalist and at a layer one, and I work with Web3 projects and also make investments.
Hey, my name's Rock. I'm one of the co-founders of EtherFi. Most people know EtherFi for our liquid restaking token, and that's kind of how we got up and going. But it's one of our three products. What we're really trying to do is build essentially a neobank that's fully on crypto rails. So allowing people to save, invest, and spend their crypto without having to offboard into fiat. So that's really the mission of what we're trying to do now. And so one of the core products is our liquid restaking token, wrapped ETH. Thanks for having us.
And I'll close it off. My name is Chunda. I'm one of the co-founders of Nucleus. We build yield infrastructure and liquidity management infrastructure, as well as tokenization infrastructure for L1s, L2s, DeFi protocols, and DeFi primitives. So we enable them to kind of optimize any pre-existing kind of financial primitives they have, as well as tokenize both on and off-chain asset flows.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. So given the title, Restaking, Innovation or Centralization, I want to ask each one of you what that means to you and where you fall on that spectrum. It's been framed as a potential game changer, but also as a risk factor. Who would like to take that?
I can kind of kick it off there. I think so. I think the first question that most people in the audience would probably have when it comes to kind of answering that is, what do you mean by centralization? Like, what exactly is that risk that could exist? And the way that I kind of look at that question is that restaking effectively takes what was traditionally thought of as more like an individual action of validating a network. You know, the vision of, eventually everyone could run an Ethereum node, or, some networks like Celestia allow you to run light clients on your phone. And it really kind of takes that and flips that on its head and says, well, actually, what we're going to do is we're going to take these like large entities who run these like professional node operating systems and then enable them to secure pretty much all of the decentralized networks that will ever exist in crypto in general. And I do think that, is restaking a kind of centralizing factor for validators and validating services? Yes. But was the writing on the wall before restaking even kind of came on board? There was a lot of contention about, the validator size being too large and Ethereum being slower as a byproduct, worries about like state retrieval in the long run. And so a lot of the kind of limitations of ETH scaling were limited by validator set size, and a lot of discussions around validator set centralization was already occurring at the Ethereum level even before restaking. So is it centralizing? Yes. But I think the kind of writing was a little bit on the wall before it came into play.
Would either of you like to add to that?
Well, on the innovation side, I think there were like two things. One, restaking was brought in because people got all their tokens in the beginning. Years ago when we were getting into crypto, we all decided to hold our tokens so then we could stake them. And that was a nice little internal thing to do for the existing crypto audience. A lot of education for newcomers. And then, yet again, let's do restaking as the next thing. So I think there's been this internal aspect to still try to find more to do with our crypto when we really need adoption. But one can argue we're on a 30-year life cycle, but I still think we need to work hard to get more people in. So on the innovation side, I think restaking as a concept is entertaining and there is some value, things like with EtherFi or Veda, which also helps power EtherFi. But the other side for innovation is that we want to see people build, like launch AVSs And we're not seeing enough of that yet. So I think there needs to be much more effort in that space. But I think it's just challenging for anyone new coming into crypto who thinks I have to launch a token, but do it on an AVS because it's easier. It's still a lot to take in.
Rock, it's been about 2 years since EigenLayer launched, and well, I don't think it's a controversial opinion to say that we don't really have a killer use case yet. Are we missing? Are we missing something? What do we need to do to get that killer use case?
It's a really good question. So I think a couple things. Restaking is still really new in the grand scheme of things. We are really impatient in crypto. If we're being honest, like the centralization stuff, I think what people care about and what's going to bring people into crypto is higher yields. So yes, restaking is giving higher yields right now, but it's not sustainable long term because it's just being supplemented by the Eigen token, right? So you need new use cases and killer apps to actually build here. I think one of the big issues with restaking, just for normal people to build on it, is how like complex like the words are, like in kind of adapting it. And so I think making it simple and more marketable for builders who are outside of crypto to come in and build. Like one analogy I've kind of used is like, if you use a website, you don't think of like, oh, what servers are they on? Like, are they AWS or are they Google Cloud? Like, you don't think about that. And so if we can get to that point where people understand it's like, it should be more cost effective, I guess, to build on top of EigenLayer or Symbiotic or whatever shared security platform. I think that is like a big win. But ultimately, what users care about, what's going to drive more users, is higher yields. And so the supply side of like actual ETH to be shared or BTC or whatever it is, like the shared security is fine. We just need a lot more builders on top. So Redstone is launching an AVS and they're launching a token and they're going to pay with a token, which is that's a huge win. But like you need that at like 100 or 200x scale. And so I think that's a big challenge for the EigenLayer and the Symbiotic BD teams to like get a lot of building and make it really compelling for people to build there.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think one of the original selling points of restaking was that it would generate extra yield, but I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't many LRTs earning less than just basic staking at this point?
Maybe, but maybe they're just not like allocated then. So the base staking yield is about 3%. EtherFi's APY like 30 days is 4.3%. So like 50% more, but it's still lower. Like go back 3 years ago, staking yields were 8, 9, 10%. Staking yields, right? Like so, the risk of that for 3 to 4%. Like honestly, if you look at our usage, people aren't there just to stake. They're there to stake and then go do some crazy shit in DeFi. So
fair. What if you take the token emissions out? What are we looking at?
Then it's just staking yield. Yeah, for sure. So, but the dream is that Eigen emission, like Eigen doesn't have to continue to like supplement that. Maybe they'll continue to pay for DA or whatever, but other AVSs will use their tokens to pay out. So that's like I said, Redstone doing that is amazing. It's huge. And you need to get like more of that built. But EigenLayer needs to figure out the market dynamics, I guess, on that to encourage AVSs to pay out and see enough value to pay out with their tokens.
So I'll throw this to the whole panel. Whoever wants to take it can take it. But I think we're starting to see slashing going live across a couple of platforms. How do you think that users